Glasgow, WCLU.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Drivers will feel better about filling up again.
Just to be under 4, I had to make sure to stop.
Gas prices fell below the $4 mark this morning for the first time in 5 months. AAA says the national average is $3.99, 15 cents less than a week ago, 68 cents less than a month ago. Oil analyst Phil Flynn.
Because the prices got too high for many people to afford, they changed their driving habits and saved their money. Now, the good news is that we're seeing signs that gasoline demand is starting to come back.
Newsweek reporting a confidential source tipped off the FBI on classified documents to look for and where they might be found at former President Trump's estate in Palm Beach.
The officials said the search targeted a bedroom, an office, and a storage room at Mar-a-Lago, and that it was deliberately timed to occur when the former president was away to keep it low-key. The officials, who were granted anonymity in order to discuss sensitive matters, said the search was not political. It was a routine law enforcement action to recover highly classified documents illegally removed from the White House. Under the 1978 Presidential Records Act, those documents belong to the National Archives. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
The Justice Department has charged a member of Iran's elite Revolutionary Guard in an alleged plot to murder former National Security Advisor John Bolton in retaliation for a U.S. drone strike in 2020 that killed a top Iranian general. Bolton hopes it'll dissuade the White House from talks to revive a nuclear agreement.
This attempt to assassinate me is simply one brick in the wall that ought to bring these negotiations to re-enter the deal to a complete halt.
Rescue teams fear there may be more victims trapped in the wreckage of a house explosion in Evansville, Indiana. At least 3 people were killed. Dozens of other homes are damaged.
One of our neighbors, they stay at home. They said that our windows were busted out. We are right next to where the explosion was.
Centerpoint Energy's been on the scene as investigators search for the cause. Joe Arpaio's chalked up another loss. The former Arizona sheriff was defeated in a mayoral race in affluent Fountain Hills outside Phoenix this week. The 90-year-old was ousted 6 years ago over legal troubles. Canadians say so long to a tennis legend.
Toronto, let's make some noise and show Serena Williams, the goat of tennis, some love.
Fans at the National Bank Open gave Serena an epic send-off after her second-round loss. The 23-time Grand Slam champ returned the love.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's been a joy playing in front of you guys all these years.
S&P futures up 12. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
Moments like watching my grandson steal second mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Iowa hosts a ball game made in Hollywood today.
Last year's game between the Chicago White Sox and New York Yankees on the Field of Dreams in Iowa was a wild 9-8 victory. Such a success that 2 more teams will
go the distance.
The Chicago Cubs and Cincinnati Reds are playing in the second game at the Throwback Ballpark, near where the 1989 movie was filmed.
People will come, Ray. They'll come to Iowa.
The Cubs and Reds will wear uniforms inspired by how the franchises looked in the early 20th century.
Just wanted to thank you folks for putting up this field, letting us play here.
Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
NH remains in critical condition on a ventilator after she crashed her car into a home in Los Angeles Friday. The actress representative tells Reuters she suffered significant lung damage and burns and hasn't regained consciousness since shortly after the accident. Toxicology reports are pending. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building, fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
U.S. Bank is a strong bank that offers many services to all types of customers. But our real strength is in our people, like our community president, Irvin Sorrell. Irvin is also a hands-on branch manager for the South Green Street and Wall Street locations. He's there to answer questions to help you establish a banking relationship with the services you need. You'll find Irvin easy to talk to and very helpful in helping you with your banking needs and challenges. Reach out to Irvin at 270-659-3201. U.S. Bank. Our people make us a great bank for you. U.S. Bank is a strong bank that offers many services to all types of customers. Member FDIC.
Everybody wants to feel good about their pharmacy, but in the quest for good health, price does become a factor. In Glasgow, we have a pharmacy that has been able to combine customer service with the lowest possible price day in and day out. That pharmacy is Park Avenue Pharmacy. Ask your friends. They'll tell you that when comparing the price of prescription drugs time and time again, Park Avenue Pharmacy is the lowest price. And with full-time pharmacists and friendly faces you know, you should request the prescriptions be filled at Park Avenue Pharmacy. Park Avenue Pharmacy is located in the Park Avenue Shopping Center, easy to get to from anywhere. Phone 651-5156. You can get low prices and full service. Simply trust Park Avenue Pharmacy in Glasgow.
You know you can depend on WCLU for local news on the air, online, on demand at WCLUradio.com.
Well, happy Thursday morning, everybody. 72 degrees as we get our start today. 6:08. Let's talk about the forecast in just a moment. I was really looking at these birthdays right here. I want to make sure I got everybody on here and spelled correctly, so let's just roll with it, shall we? Teresa Sexton, happy birthday to you. Gary DeWeese. Justin Shirley. Justin is 33 today. That's right. Amanda Hawkins with a birthday. It is Maylee Grace Morrison. Maylee Grace is 12. Marcia Peden with a big birthday. Lori Ritter is 57, we understand. Miss Sheila Atwell with a big birthday today, too. It's all birthdays so far. Room on the paper here for anniversaries, too. Let's just get started with those. 651-9149, 800-956-1023, and online here at WCLUradio.com. We got a birthday cake to give away from DQ today and a beautiful rose from Greer's to give away today, too. But only the people whose name's on this list, so let's get them called in and get them ready to roll here, shall we? Now let's talk about the weather forecast for today. We have a 20% chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm, gradually becoming sunny at a high of 83. Mostly clear for tonight, a low down to 65. I'll take it. For Friday, a sunny day and 81. Friday night, mostly clear, low of 57. Saturday, a whole lot of sunshine and a high temperature up to about 81 degrees. Now, the WCLU constant coverage and studio radar screen. The rain we had in here last night's moved well down into the eastern part of Tennessee. It kind of was a northeast to southwest move of things, but nonetheless, that's where we are this morning. And as I'm looking at the radar screen, there is not much happening here in the state. But let me give you the numbers. We had a couple of gully washers there yesterday afternoon, depending on which cloud set you were under. The official rain gauge here in Glasgow had 4,700 7-inch of rain, but not. I know western Barron County had to have gotten a whole lot more out around Railton, out around Red Cross, places like that, because the Smiths Grove rain gauge reports this morning an inch and 88 1.88. Very isolated out there in the Smiths Grove area, but a lot of that, I'm sure, came into western Barron County. And then there's like an inch and a half down at Russellville yesterday. Otherwise, everybody's under at least a half an inch. We are waking up with 72 degrees from WCLU on the live and local 6 o'clock morning edition that Brennan Crane is going to continue reporting for us right after this.
Practitioners Paula West and Haley Cavanaugh at the TJ Health Cape City Clinic offer experienced health care for all your family's needs, including family medicine care, pediatric care treating children starting at birth, along with cardiology services. The TJ Health Cape City Clinic across from Save-A-Lot is open Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Appointments are recommended. Walk-ins are accepted based on availability. For additional information, visit tjregionalhealth.org/Cape City. TJ Regional Health. Total local care.
Picture another world, another dimension, one of space, one of time, one where chicken on made-from-scratch biscuits only costs $1. This place exists, and it's called the Hardee's app. So when you buy one hand-breaded chicken biscuit, you get another for just $1. Cluckbait! It's time to fall for some cluckbait. Bite into the hand-breaded chicken menu only at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Available for limited time during regular breakfast hours at participating restaurants, exclusively in the Hardee's app or website by registered My Rewards members. Tax not included. See app or website for additional terms and conditions.
Have you heard about the new online home for the Glasgow EPB? Well, it isn't just a new-looking website. It's a whole new way to manage your Glasgow EPB services. At the all-new GlasgowEPB.com, you can take care of paying your bill online like always, but you can also request or transfer your Glasgow EPB services, access customer support guides, easily sign up for GEPB alerts, and learn about all available products and programs. So check it out today, GlasgowEPB.com.
Well, good morning. It's Thursday, August 11th, 2022, 72 degrees, 6:12, and it sure does feel like the first day of school because it is a little bit steamy out there, a little foggy, if you will, in some places, but 72 degrees today, cloudy skies. Hopefully that will clear out just a bit by this afternoon. It is the first day of school in Barron County for Barron County schools. Lots of students will be returning today, and there is something to know about. It looks like Barron County High School, middle school, and all of the areas are really cracking down on a vaping issue this year. In a letter addressed to parents and guardians of high school students, Barron County Attorney Catherine Thomas issued this. She says, in recent years, the use of vapor products has become a significant issue for students. We have seen a substantial increase in incidents of students bringing these items to school. This year, BCHS will be a zero-tolerance campus for such products. Accordingly, in accordance with KRS 600.020, 51. If any student is found to be in possession of a vapor product, that includes vape pen and or vape cartridges, at school, a public offense action for the possession of drug paraphernalia will be brought against them. This policy applies to students for all campus activities. Now, of course, this means, according to state law, that any person who's under age 21, it's technically illegal now for them to possess or use tobacco products. That includes alternative nicotine products and or vapor products. So that all falls into that. And again, the county attorney issuing this reminder to parents and guardians of these students. Now, this has become an issue here locally. We've heard about that in recent roundtable discussions. Vaping has become the new cigarette, if you will. That's what many people are saying, according to a roundtable recently held with local members of several different organizations and government leaders. They say that this is what is causing an issue in schools right now. Now, continuing in that letter, the county attorney says that she, quote, "I commend Barron County Schools for leading this effort in keeping our children safe. Thanks and recognition are also due to Judge John Alexander, Judge Micah Wood Pence, Judge Gabe Pendleton, the Office of Barron County Sheriff Kent Keene, and the Barron County Court Designated Worker Office for their input on and participation in finding a solution to this rising problem." You can find that complete letter at Barron County High School's Facebook page. Well, one person was arrested Tuesday after a vehicle crashed into a Dollar General store in Haywood. Many people were asking about that, and it turns out that that person arrested was James D. Storms III. Now, here's what we know. Authorities arrived and learned from witnesses at the scene there that a man in a truck had collided with the rear of another vehicle and drove through a field before he crashed into the store. Now, police said the metal siding of the Dollar General store there at Haywood, it was collapsed, and freezers inside, they were damaged. Storms was identified as the driver. The 32-year-old apparently looked at an officer blankly when asked about his condition. He did not have any visible injuries, according to a citation. Now, Storms reeked of alcohol, had bloodshot eyes, and swayed while police talked to him. He was later determined to have a blood alcohol content level of 0.259. Police charged Storms with one count of operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol, failure to produce an insurance card, and failure to maintain required insurance. He also faces 2 counts of first-degree criminal mischief. Now, several units from the Glasgow Police Department, if you remember seeing a photo circulating around social media, they responded to that store, though it is in the sheriff's office jurisdiction. We understand from a Glasgow Police Department spokesperson that at that time there were no county units available to respond to that. The Dollar General store was closed while damage assessments were completed. It remains unclear if that store remains closed. Well, tonight is going to be the night that the Strategic Planning Committee of the City of Glasgow is going to be meeting. They're going to meet in a session to decide on the final logo for the City of Glasgow before they recommend that to the full council. Now, if you remember, this has been going on now for nearly 3 years, starting this fall. Rather, this fall it will be the 3-year mark since the City of Glasgow started on a project to create a brand and ultimately create something for the future of Glasgow. Chandler Thinks, which is a Tennessee-based company, was hired to create this logo and other branding package. They've released 3 logo types that this committee will be deciding on tonight. They will pick one of those and forward that on to the Glasgow City Council. Of course, council members will then have the final say if they adopt that logo. Chandler Thinks was hired by the City of Glasgow, and if you remember, this happened in about April of 2021. The original cost that the company put forward to the council was $29,770. That was a base fee to complete this work. $15,000 of those dollars were raised through privately raised funds from the Glasgow Barron County Community Foundation. Again, this meeting is slated this evening at 5:30 there in the council meeting room outside of the chambers there in Glasgow City Hall. On this morning's 911 activity report, it does look like we have no activity this morning to let you know about. When we come back, we have some exciting news for you to know about expanded voting centers. That's right. This election, the general election in November, there will be more places for you to vote here in Barron County. We'll also be taking a look at the newest manager of the Glasgow Water Company. All of this on WCLU News.
The IRS, the world's most aggressive collection agency. They can seize your property, bank account, and garnish your wages. They cause sleepless nights for millions of Americans. Don't be one of them. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, get protected today. Call 800-312-9970. Coast One Tax Group, protecting your bank, home, and your sleep since 2008. With hundreds of 5-star reviews and an A+ on the Better Business Bureau. Call Coast One Tax Group, 800-312-9970. Stanley from New York owed $93,000. The IRS placed a levy on his bank account. Coast One released the levy and settled with the IRS for $2,000. Mark in Michigan owed $225,000. After Coast One stepped in, Mark walked away paying less than $1,500. Call Coast One now. A 10-minute call can save you up to 93% on your back taxes. Get your fresh start today. That's 800-312-9970.
For over 25 years, Window World has provided quality products for homeowners around the country. Every window we sell is custom made for optimal energy efficiency and superior durability. Plus, a vinyl finish means they will never need painting. Just like our windows, entry doors from Window World are made to last, featuring a durable composite frame that will never rot. When it comes time to replace your windows or doors, trust Window World. Call 270-780-9600.
Simply the best for less. Window World.
Mobile apps have changed the way we live our lives today, from banking to ordering groceries and dating. Well, a great way to stay connected with us at WCLU is by downloading our app. Stay up to date with local news, obituaries, birthdays and anniversaries, winners, and so much more. And you can listen to us online too. It's free. It's in your app store. Download it today and stay connected with WCLU as we continue to be your home for local.
Welcome back into WCLU Local News. It's Thursday, August 11th, 6:20, 72 degrees. It's great to have you with us today. A little bit of fog and a little bit of mist in the air out there today. Nothing to worry about too much, perhaps just a little bit of that leftoverness from last night. It did rain a great deal here across the region. Of course, we did have that flood watch in effect through yesterday evening about 11 o'clock. We haven't really heard of any severe flooding this morning. It did look like a little bit further to the west, actually, there was some storms coming through that region, but by the time they got over this way, it looked like it was mainly just rain. A 30% chance of showers today, a high near 83 tonight, mostly clear, and a start to that very, very pleasant streak, a low around 66 degrees. By tomorrow evening, we're going to have lows in the upper 50s, so it'll really feel more like fall. And it looks like that's going to stick around for the rest of the weekend. Saturday night, a low around 62, sunny on Saturday with a high near 82, and Sunday mostly sunny and a high near 85. So it looks like those chance of showers might linger on the front end of next week, but it does look like we're going to have partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies through Wednesday at least next week. Well, there's no denying that in the past few years, the way Americans cast their votes at the polls has drastically changed. A break from the normal, coupled with ever-changing laws and regulations, have no doubt made the process a learning experience for both voters and those in charge of local elections. Barron County is no exception to this learning curve, but this November, County Clerk Alina Birdwell hopes to accommodate voters in the county with additional 4 voting centers that will be available here. That's doubling the number of centers from the primary election and bringing that total number of voting centers for this general election to 8. So in addition to the Barron County High School Gymnasium, the Cave City Convention Center, Austin Tracy Volunteer Fire Department, and Haywood Volunteer Fire Department, voting centers will also be set up at these following locations: Highsville Volunteer Fire Department, Park City Lions Club, Temple Hill Volunteer Fire Department, and the Beckton Community Center. So again, these voting centers offer the convenience for you to go and vote at any of these locations throughout the county. That is a little bit of a difference. So in prior years, you remember that you had to vote at your particular precinct, and there were over 20 of those across the county. That is the way, that is essentially an archaic way, if you will. That's the old way, and we don't really get the indication that the county will be going back to that anytime soon, if ever. Prior to the pandemic, there were 25 of those precincts. In 2020, those precincts were replaced by these voting centers, and again, it allowed voters to go to any of the locations, regardless of where they lived, to cast their vote. Now, Birdwell says she's excited to announce the expansion of these locations. She's also suggesting that voters pay close attention to both traditional and social media outlets for information and reminders regarding the election. Voters can also request an absentee ballot by visiting govote.ky.gov beginning on September 24th, and that runs all the way out through October 25th. So again, we will continue to follow this. As you know, the election is a very important thing, and we will always let you know about those dates that are coming up. If you do want to write some dates down, we have those for you. The last day to register to vote is October 11th. So if you want to vote in this year's general election that's happening in November, that means if you want to vote for local offices like county judge executive, county attorney, sheriff, if you live in the city, mayor, city council, fiscal court, all of those offices, you've got to register to vote by August 11th if you're not already. The last day to make changes to your current voter registration, it also falls on October 11th. The last day for that absentee ballot request, again, it's October 25th. Early excused voting for the general election, that's October 26th through November 2nd. And the no excuse early voting, that's just the traditional early voting, November 3rd through the 5th. So if you can't make it to one of those 8 locations on Election Day, you'll be able to vote those 2 days. You go into the area there, and you will not have to tell them a reason why you're there. You'll just get to vote like it's Election Day. And finally, Election Day is Tuesday, November 8th. So again, all of those dates, we just want to sort of prime you, if you will, but we will continue to follow that, and we'll let you know about those continuously over the next 3 months now. Election Day is less than 3 months away. Well, Joe Watson grew up with a firm grasp on hard work as the son of an Adair County plumber. That same white-knuckling grasp provided the foundation for an engineering career and his latest promotion at the Glasgow Water Company. Watson took over leadership there at the Glasgow Water Company as the general manager soon after Scott Young, who was the former manager, announced his intent to leave earlier last year. Young took a job with the Kentucky Rural Water Association, and Watson, he decided it was time to apply for the manager's job. He boasts quite a bit of a resume with the private sector and now the public sector.
We've got top. That's one of the things about working for a utility. You're not doing it. You're not working here for the money. You're working here for like public service. Try to do better for the public. Because I was on the consulting side, but I realized I'd rather serve the community than I had try to make more money for profits and everything.
After working in Lexington for a brief time following his 2006 graduation from the University of Kentucky, Watson took a job with American Engineers. It's a local firm, and he worked there until 2020. He then transitioned to the Glasgow Water Company and worked as a staff engineer and eventually an engineering manager. The son of a plumber, Watson found an interest in water early on, he says. It was through his father's encouragement that he decided to attend college, but engineering, it was actually not exactly what he wanted to do originally.
Actually, I initially went to school I wanted to be a vet.
Interesting.
And then I changed my major to engineering.
Mathematics seemed to click when biology didn't, after all. And as the grandfather of engineering, civil engineers work to lay the foundation for much of society's amenities. That includes bridges, roads, buildings, and water plants. That's become Watson's specialty. You can hear more of this story next hour on WCLU News at 7 o'clock. It's 627, 72 degrees. I'm Brendan Crane. Have a great Thursday.
News, weather, sports, and more. Weekdays on Good Morning Live and Local on WCLU at WCLUradio.com and Facebook.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
A murder-suicide is under investigation in Harlan County. The Kentucky State Police say a shooting was reported on Jonathan Drive in Harlan earlier this week. When troopers arrived, they found a man and woman dead at the scene. KSP saying it looks like the female victim, Phoebe Cloud, was shot by her husband, Michael, who then turned the gun on himself. A Somerset man is under arrest for allegedly making terroristic threats towards the University of the Cumberlands. The university went into lockdown shortly after a call came into the Williamsburg police at around 5:15 Tuesday afternoon. Extra security was dispatched to the campus, and within about an hour, a suspect was located. Dustin Burchett was identified and tracked down in Somerset and taken into custody by the Kentucky State Police and the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear continues to push for more federal assistance for eastern Kentucky, saying FEMA, quote, has to get it right, end quote. President Joe Biden was on the ground in the flooded region earlier this week, saying the country has an obligation to help all its people. Governor Beshear adding the devastation is so extensive, the rebuilding will be a long process. Senator Rand Paul wanting the White House and Governor Andy Beshear to issue waivers to use unspent COVID funding on repairing flood damage. Paul says while talking with victims and volunteers, he is reminded how good Americans and Kentuckians are. The new school year is nearly here, and there are still shortages among staff. The state-mandated position of school resource officer still has vacancies in many districts across the Commonwealth. The armed officer is there to help protect school kids from violence, and the people starting in the role this week have been trained extensively. There are also more new teachers starting this year than ever before, the upturn in new teachers coming after there were alarming vacancy numbers earlier this summer. I'm Rob Carpenter.
This This is the Kentucky News Network.
A crying baby is impossible to ignore, but a quiet baby can be easy to forget. Every year, dozens of children lose their lives because otherwise attentive adults forgot they were in the back seat. It only takes a moment for a car to heat up to dangerous levels, even on cooler days. So get in the habit of always looking in the back seat and use reminders to ensure baby is always with you. Where's baby? Look before you lock. Paid for by NHTSA.
I try to be part of the in crowd. I try to be really careful about how I dress, what I do, and who I hang out with. This time of year, I'm hanging out with a higher class group. Go!
From horse shows to rides, games, food, concerts, exhibits, and more. This year's Kentucky State Fair has everything, so you can do your thing August 18th through 28th. Buy your tickets online and get free parking.
In my family, I'm the planner. From the weekly grocery list to the family vacation. Everything. All the details. Though planning for the end was something I left off my list. Then a friend told me about South Central Kentucky monuments in Glasgow. She said even though it wasn't on her to-do list, seeing them was one of the best planning decisions she'd ever made. South Central Kentucky monuments showed her the different options they have available, even an image of the finished monument. And since South Central Kentucky Monuments does all the stone carving in-house, it cost much less than she expected. They made the process easy to create the exact memorials she wanted. So my husband and I made a plan to see them. We are so happy with our decision. We encouraged our family and friends to do the same. It'll be the best planning decision you ever make.
Buy direct and save money at South Central Kentucky Monuments at the corner of East Front Street and Columbia Avenue. Family owned in Glasgow since 2010.
Most people will hesitate before planning a funeral in advance.
The funeral? We'll arrange that when the time comes.
But there's a lot to be said for advance planning. For one thing, you have the peace of mind of knowing that your arrangements have all been made. You can consider the options when your mind is clear, and you'll have the relief of knowing that your loved one will be well cared for. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
You're listening to WCLU Local News. Good morning live. It is 6:32 and we have 72 degrees at the studios of WCLU this morning. In area funeral announcements this hour, Brenda Lois Cox Huntsman, age 75 of Bowling Green, died Monday at Greenview Regional Hospital. She was a homemaker, a retired employee of Quality Travel, and a former employee of Dollar General Corporation and Dr. Scott Patton and Black. She was a member of the St. James United Methodist Church, where she served in the choir, and was a former member of the Union Chapel United Methodist Church. She is survived by her husband of 58 years, Will Huntsman, one son, Brent Allen Huntsman, and wife Kim of Alvaton, one daughter, Kelly Denise Sullivan, and husband Dwight of Scottsville, one brother, Ronnie Cox of Bowling Green, one brother-in-law, Harold Huntsman of Woodburn, 5 grandchildren, Jeffrey and Connor Sullivan, Alan and Chelsea Huntsman, and Dakota Sullivan. The funeral service for Brenda Lois Cox Huntsman will be held at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning at the Goad Funeral Home, with burial in the Union Chapel Cemetery. Visitation will be from 4 until 8 Friday and after 8 o'clock on Saturday. Expressions of sympathy can take the form of donations to the Union Chapel Cemetery Fund or the Alzheimer's Association. Donations can be made at the Goad Funeral Home. Funeral services for Kelly Riley, age 58 of Monticello, will be at 1 o'clock Friday at Ballou and Stott's Funeral Home, with burial in the Gaines Hill Cemetery. Visitation today from 4 until 9. Service for Jerry Massey, 71 of Huff, will be at 11 o'clock Friday morning at Grayville Funeral Home. Burial to follow in the Doyle Cemetery. Visitation is in progress. Graveside services for Alma Jones, 99 of Glasgow, will be today at 4 at Poplar Log Cemetery. Visitation begins at 3 at the cemetery under the direction of the Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home. Funeral services for Jerry Harvey, age 77, of Temple Hill, will be this morning at 11 o'clock at Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home, with burial in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Glasgow Chapter 20 DAV will provide military honors at the cemetery. Donations may be made to the Shanti Niketan Hospice House. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day free at WCLUradio.com and on the WCLU app. No login is necessary.
It's important to know you can send unique designs at a price you can afford when you send a design created by Jeff's Country Florist. And if you can't seem to find that one-of-a-kind unique gift, then come see us at Jeff's Country Florist. These great designs and gifts are available for local delivery or in-store pickup. Stop by and browse our showroom at 4911 Scottsville Road in Glasgow. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 till 5, Saturdays, 9 till noon. Let's talk. 270-678-3575. There's only one Jeff's Country Florist.
The just because deal. Hey, oh, what's this?
Breakfast from Mickey D's.
From me?
Yep.
Why?
'Cause it's morning and you like McDonald's. Let's eat while it's hot.
There's a deal for every act of kindness at McDonald's.
Right now, get a sausage biscuit and hash browns pairing for just $2.50. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
This weather update brought to you by Apollo PC in Glasgow.
Ugh, why is this thing so slow?
Is your slow computer frustrating, but you don't want to pay the money for a new one? Well, check this out.
Hi, I'm Chris from Apollo PC. Nothing runs better than a new computer. Our refurbished models are practically good as new. Right now, get a complete computer system with monitor, keyboard, mouse, and speakers running Windows 7 for only $300. Or if you prefer a laptop, we have fully refurbished models for only $250. And we wouldn't put the Apollo name on it if they weren't top notch.
Search faster with Apollo PC. Chain Drive in Glasgow next to Sweetheart Bakery.
In the WCLU Forecast Center, let's look at the way things are. I think I'm going to go backwards and talk about the moisture. We had some areas that got a whole big bunch of rain yesterday, others that kind of got not much, others that kind of got in between. So let me tell you that here at the studios of WCLU, we had 0.47 of an inch of rain, 0.47. Just to the west in Smith's Grove, the rain gauge over there at Smith's Grove, which is just before you get off of the exit ramp there coming north on I-65. That rain gauge got an inch and 88 hundredths, 1.88 there at Smith's Grove. So some of these totals in western Barron County, I'm sure, are right close to that. Russellville got an inch and a half yesterday, but most areas were spotty like it is this time of the year. Let me look at the numbers for today. A 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, gradually becoming sunny and a high of 83. Tonight, mostly clear and a low of 65. Friday's going to be a sunny day and 81. Friday night, mostly clear and a low of 57. Saturday, look for nothing but sunshine and a high of 81 degrees. That sounds very, very pleasant. A nice combination. Sunny, but not so terribly hot. Now, right now, the barometer's up at 3010. The humidity is 100%. Southwest winds at 2 miles an hour. And we've said 47 hundredths in our rain gauge. Brendan talked about the haze and the fog. We are showing a half a mile visibility at the Glasgow airport this morning. Some of that leftover fog after the moisture that left here late last night here in south central Kentucky. So it should not cause anybody any problems. But on the first day of school in the Barron County school system, we want you to know all about the potential for a little bit of fog, a little bit of a haze. You know, even if it was foggy every day, you're not used to driving to school in it right now. So I want to make sure that you are aware of that. 72 WCLU 638. And this weather's been brought to you by Apollo PC Glasgow. Back to school computer blues. Let Apollo PC get yours running in ship shape with the antivirus and the programs you need, and certainly let it go back to school with you after it's been prepped and checked out by Apollo PC Glasgow.
More disease and pest pressure this year. Hello, I'm Megan Grebner with Ag News headlines on Brownfield. A Midwest agronomist says he's seeing more water hemp in soybean fields this season. Corey Muehlbauer with Precision Planting tells Brownfield that's one of the downfalls of late planted soybeans. He says tar spot has also been an issue in corn. Megan Anderson with Iowa State University says she's seeing soybean gallmage showing up in more parts of the Corn Belt. And one of the challenges there is there's not effective management tools. Back with more on Brownfield right after this.
Hello everyone, this is Joe and Rachel Dotson from Best One Tire in Glasgow.
We wanted to personally thank you for supporting our tire and repair business at 100 Shawn Lane.
Many of our customers come to us for ag and truck tire, but did you know we are capable of serving any size car or pickup?
With over 300 stores behind us, our buying power means we can pass on to you the very best pricing in our area.
We have many tires and tubes in stock, and we can do alignments on just about anything that rolls.
I was raised in Metcalfe County. After being away for a few years, Joe and I brought our family back to the area, and nothing brings us greater pleasure than servicing our neighbors when they are broke down in the field or on the road. We are here for you. We want to help you by taking the stress out of buying your next tires. We will work with any budget, anytime.
Come in and find out why we are the fastest growing tire company in Glasgow. We love this business. We love this town. Pretty soon you will be coming to our new store out on Highway 90 right here in Glasgow.
Best One Tire and Service, creating one raving fan at a time.
The Biden administration is working to reduce tariffs on U.S. ag exports and expand market access in Southeast Asia. Daniel Crittenbrink, Assistant Secretary of State of East Asian and Pacific Affairs, says the administration didn't need a free trade agreement to lower the beef tariff with Vietnam, but
free trade agreements that are coming online, and those free trade agreements include in them tariff reductions. And unless the United States, works very aggressively at that, our exporters can be at a disadvantage.
In other news, a Midwestern ag banker says healthy cash flows are keeping the farmland market strong. Mike Bale with U.S. Bank tells Brownfield he's not sure farmers are getting good value paying record prices for tillable ground. Randy Dickhout with Farmers National Company says quality cropland that would have sold for about $16,000 an acre a year ago are now selling for $21,000. And finally, U.S. ethanol production and stocks both declined slightly last week. The U.S. Energy Information Administration says production was down 21,000 barrels on the week, but up 36,000 on the year. I'm Megan Grebner for Brownfield.
When you work a livestock operation all day, you need a tractor that gets the job done. That's why Case IH Farm All Utility Series tractors offer more standard features than the competition. I guess you could say that Case IH Farm All Utility Series tractors hold standard features to a higher standard. Because when it comes to performance, versatility, and value, there's nothing standard about them.
See your local dealer, J&J Sales, on West Main Street in Glasgow.
We need to come clean with you about something that Case IH Farm All Utility tractors don't offer. Regeneration. Competitive tractors require a diesel particulate filter to deliver clean emissions. The cleaning process is called regeneration. You have to wait up to 20 minutes for your tractor to burn fuel while it regenerates. Case IH Farm All Utility tractors meet emission requirements without regeneration, saving you time and money.
See your local dealer, J&J Sales, on West Main Street in Glasgow.
And today's Ag Report from Brownfield brought to you by very ag-minded businesses here in our community. For example, J&J Sales, as well as Best One Tire Services, helping everybody in the ag industry, whether it's in the field, in the barn, or everywhere in between. They are very good sponsors of the Brownfield Ag Report. It is 6:42 WCLU. Let's move forward and get over here and get these birthdays on the radio this morning. We've had several called in since we last gave the report, so let me just tell you where we are. We've got Maylee Grace Morrison. Maylee Grace, we understand, is 12 today. Marcia Peden, happy birthday. Sheila Atwell with a big birthday today. Lori Ritter. Lori is 57. Amanda Hawkins. Actually, I've had Amanda. Amanda is really good about calling in birthdays, and I've had a lot of folks call in her birthday today. So I just want to know that I want Amanda to know that she's got a lot of nice friends out there. But we're making sure that she has her name on the birthday list. Amanda Hawkins. We have Justin Shirley. Justin is 33. Gary DeWeese for the birthday today. Teresa Sexton celebrates. Here's a great couple having an anniversary. It's number 20 for Steve and Deborah Morrison today. Congratulations to the Morrisons. 651-9149. 800-956-1023. And online, really easy to click at WCLUradio.com. It is today, by special request, Gary DeWeese Day. Gary's having a birthday today. They said, can we pat him on the back on his birthday? That worked out. We're glad it did. So if you happen to see Gary DeWeese around town today, you pat him on the back. Remind him he's good as gold from WCLU. And a little taste of Texas, where regardless of the celebration, they're going to make sure that it's a good one at a little taste of Texas.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle, a combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more, because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Call State Farm agent Mike Bryant in Glasgow at 270-651-3608.
Good morning live. WCLD, we got to talk about some things coming up here today. For example, a clothing giveaway at the Metcalfe County Elementary School Gymnasium. It starts at 8:30 this morning, goes until 2 today, and then tomorrow it's 8:30 till noon at the Metcalfe County Elementary School Gymnasium. Come out to the Cave City Convention Center today through Saturday and enjoy the Gospel Music Expo, live music and live ministry from 5 until 10 p.m. each and every night. Also tonight up in Horse Cave, going to have the Jammin' on the Porch series that continues. There's a lot of jamming, too. It's every Thursday, 6 until 9 p.m. Bring your own acoustic instrument to jam with, or you can join in the fun and just swing by and listen to the jam tonight, 6 until 9. And the Barron County Flames Special Olympics having their USA Games celebration and summer party at the Glasgow City Pool. That's going to be tomorrow night. Get it on the calendar. Tomorrow night, 6 until 8 p.m. Food for the athletes provided. Parents and family can enjoy the meal for just $3. You will certainly enjoy the camaraderie that happens at that as well. So get on out there and enjoy these special activities that are coming up. Let's go ahead and shift gears right here into high gear. We got to get over here and get the archives going. Yes, it's time to share good news. In the archives, Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services sponsors the archives. History is made by the hard work that stands the test of time. Hard working is what they do every day when the doors open at Joseph A. Wade, for sure.
When there's work to be done, you get to it. And Joseph A. Wade Incorporated is here to help. They repair and make hydraulic hoses and repair hydraulic cylinders. If there's a problem, the Joseph A. Wade hydraulic team will help you find a solution. They're also a distributor for Croyle products. Plus, black and orange nitrile gloves are back in stock. Locally owned and operated, Joseph A. Wade Incorporated. Here to help since 1985. Located in the curve of Industrial Drive in Glasgow.
All right, Sam Terry is here bright and early this morning. Sam, you okay today, sir?
I'm well. How are you today, Henry?
Doing real good. More every day, somebody tells me about enjoying listening to you on the radio and something they learn from you on the archives. And I'm just glad you're here to extend that amenity once again today, sir. Folks look forward to it. I appreciate that. Takes a lot of smarts to get that out there for sure. 1922, it was 100 years ago today, there was a strike underway in a dispute between coal miners and the railroads. That probably was a harrowing strike there in 1922, wouldn't you say, Sam?
Indeed.
We couldn't move things around the country without the railroad, and certainly there's a lot of importance to coal miners around here. But in the news story, the Barlow Moore Tobacco Company is a live institution with its 5-story building, and every hand which is loose and wants to work. This company is doing an enormous export business as well as a large and growing domestic business. Well, as the company's coal pile was getting distressingly low, no chances were taken, and so a connection has been made with our local gas wells. And now the miners and the railroad may fuss all they want to, but the Barlow Moore Company is going to use gas instead of coal and grow along just the same. That had to have been very controversial. The great coal of Kentucky was being threatened with the use of gas simply because the strike was underway, Sam.
They needed to keep business moving on.
Mm-hmm. The Sampson Tobacco, this is, talked about thinking ahead here. This story continues. The Sampson Tobacco Company, another of our large factories, took the advanced step some time ago and has been using gas for some months. I guess Mr. Sampson could see it coming and said, we just get ahead and get this gas going so we don't have to worry if there was a strike between the coal miners and the railroads. And they were planning ahead. an interesting part of our community. Tobacco, a big part of it. Coal, a big part of it. But they stepped outside of the box and got gas going to keep it going, for sure. We talked about this last week with Terry Bunnell, but this day in 1932 was the day in the Republican that the story says that over 50 players are expected to enter the Open tennis tournament held at the Glasgow Country Club beginning August 17th and continuing through the 20th. Dr. W.A. Weldon, the secretary and the treasurer of the Country Club Tennis Organization, will present a beautiful 16-inch silver trophy to the winner of the men's singles championship. And that trophy, Sam, is going to be on display in the show window of the T.C. Delvaux Jewelry Store next week. You can see how the excitement was building about the very young at the time Weldon tennis tournament.
It was just a few years old, and those early original trophies are quite a sight to see.
I bet.
Some beautiful craftsmanship and just something to stand and admire the beauty of it all, and that this was part of our local heritage.
Mm-hmm. No question about it. And you can just kind of see how solidly it was built from the beginning there. Hey, reminding everybody, come on downtown and look at that jewelry at the jewelry store. And look at the trophy on display there at the Delvaux Jewelry Store. 1942, the war was going on. The Red Cross needed some sewing machines. And so this day it was noted the National Red Cross Office has notified the local Red Cross chapter that 10 sewing machines have been released and are en route for the use of the local Red Cross volunteer workers. These machines will remain here for the duration of the war. That's something you don't think about these days, that we had to have people to actually manufacture some of the goods that we needed for the war and the soldiers, and those had to be made, and it was farmed out to different communities by the Red Cross sending out these sewing machines, Sam, in 1942.
It certainly was. You know, there was a quota for each county and how many of certain garments they were to produce from that county using volunteer resources. Mm-hmm. And at one point, down on the square, I believe it was on the east side, there was an empty storefront, and they turned that into the Red Cross Sewing Center. And there are a few pictures around of local ladies sitting in the show window sewing, making all sorts of things. They were also knitting and a variety of things to help the war effort.
Doing their effort for the war effort, for sure. And yeah. I have seen one or two of those pictures, and you can. There are some very identifiable faces in those pictures too, of those ladies contributing to the war effort there in 1942. 1952, about 200 members of the Glasgow Chamber of Commerce and their guests were expected to attend the trade organization's annual Fish Fry, to be held Friday night at the American Legion Fairgrounds. A fellowship meeting is planned with no formal program. Gordon E. Brown is in charge of the entertainment committee for the Fish Fry, and others on the committee are Morris P. Wilson, L. M. Combs, E. Ray Brown, J. P. Jewell, W. L. McEwen, L. L. Miller, William Gillenwater, and D. B. Hodges. With those names in charge, it was a big deal for sure.
Without a doubt. And when was the last time we had an announcement about an event that said it would be for fellowship only?
That's right. No program, no speech, no sales pitch, just come and eat fish and fellowship. And
sounds nice.
It really does. I bet there was a big crowd when they had that for sure. 200 members were expected, and I bet it probably exceeded that by a little bit. All right, let's go to this day in 1962 in the Glasgow Republican. The West All-Stars, who were expected to have a good showing in the East-West All-Star football game to be held at Stowe Field at UK on Friday night, were featured in the newspaper. One of the players is the familiar Woody Simmons. Woody, of course, the son of Mrs. Johnny Taylor. A lot of folks knew her as Miss Willa Taylor, but her son Woody Simmons was in the East-West All-Star game here in 1962. He's going to be the tallest man on Stoll Field, it says here in the story. Now, Woody is, and I didn't realize he was this tall, Woody is 6 feet 5.5 inches tall, and he weighed 232 pounds. As they used to say, that's a man. He'll be handling the center spot for the West. Simmons is signed with the Western Hilltoppers and will enroll there this fall. Young local athlete doing well in 1962, Woody Simmons. And you know, Mama was proud, too.
For the home folks.
That's exactly right. Something to brag about. Yeah, one of ours was in the All-Star game, the center. 1972, the newly organized Gamaliel Sportsman's Club has elected its first set of officers, Sam, and they were Dr. Franklin Harlan, president, Thomas Kopas, the vice president, and Billy Carter, the secretary-treasurer. Sounds like they were in good hands. 1982, this was the day that Maxine Tiffany Crawford, RN, retired from T.J. Sampson Community Hospital. She started work there in 1946. My goodness, didn't she see a lot of change, Sam?
She was. Mrs. Crawford was a legendary nurse at T.J. Sampson, and anywhere you saw her. Mm-hmm. Very professional in her white nurse's uniform and cap, and
yes.
She meant business.
Special people who have the skill set to be a nurse, and certainly, I'm sure some days are more challenging than others. But you know, their job is to make people feel better in addition to taking care of their health, and I'm sure she was good at that. All right, we're going to do some heavy name dropping here in 1992, Sam. This is the day the Barron County Education Association hosted their new teachers at a dinner at Bolton's Landing. Now, let me give you the names of these new teachers here, Sam. Michelle Crabtree, math at Barron County High. Michelle Johnson, special ed at Park City. Joyce Steen, special ed at Eastern. Shannon Bennell, English at Barron County High School. Julie Newton, preschool. Stella Downs, chapter 1 at Park City. Lex Lindsay, health and PE and assistant coach at Barron County High. Amy Shipley, chapter 1 at Hiceville. Gina Matthews, 4th grade at Hiceville, and Tina Vincent, speech and language pathologist at Park City Red Cross. Are those some heroic names in the education of Barron County students, wouldn't you say?
They certainly are, and some of them are still going strong.
Indeed.
At Barron County schools today.
That's right. It was nice to have a big welcoming dinner down at Bolton's Landing for those new teachers and just getting their career started off on the correct foot. This was the day in 2002 the cheerleaders for the coming year were announced by Glasgow High School. Here's the names of these gals and guys. It is going to be Emily Trabue, Jenny Russell, Sarah Kate Stone, Shandy Christie, Heather Kalin, Katie Simpson, Courtney Edwards, Michael Wilkins, Ashley Bailey, Della Van Zant, Lacey Foster, Jenna Barton, Candice Regal, Kendra McCoy. It's also Emily Tuck, Courtney Jesse, Carol Lou Royce, Tony Herndon, Tyler LaMarinelle, and Chris Jones. Bunch of cheerleaders there from 2002 for the Scotties as they get ready for the fall season.
That's a large cheerleading
That
squad.
is. That's a big crowd right there. Well, of course, you know, it's a long ways up and down that track on the sidelines at the football stadium, so they wanted to have a bunch of folks there, and it was an exciting time. You know, when football season cranks up, which is right here, it's just an always exciting time. Very sobering, you know, hey, summer's over with, time to get serious. School's starting, football's starting. We're going to roll into cooler weather in the holidays, so get on board. And finally, this day, speaking of football season, just 10 years ago, 2012, this is the day that Trojan football announced they were going to get underway on August the 9th with a scrimmage at Edmonson County. Going to take on the Wildcats in a chance to learn and improve before the regular season starts. And that was in the Barron County Progress. In 2012, okay, a whole big bunch of special things over the last 100 years, as you can tell. A lot of excitement about schools starting. Other important things that we need to know about as we prepare for figuring out what we're going to do with the railroad on strike and how we're going to run the tobacco companies and all that. Interesting to see how those things were dealt with, Sam. And I really appreciate your wisdom. And I just got a text from Superintendent Bo Matthews of the Barron County Schools. He heard that list of teachers, and he's very qualified to send me this text. Bo says, outstanding list. So isn't it good to have the endorsement of the superintendent, because he knows every one of those that was taken out to dinner at Bolton's Landing, getting ready for back to school. And that just says a lot. And, of course, he's very involved in everything getting ready for the start of school, and we're fortunate to have that.
Without a doubt.
All right. I'm going to hit the intro right here. We'll get back together tomorrow, and what we'll do is we will go through another 100 years worth of The Way We Were. Hope you'll come back, Sam, and we'll look forward to some interesting things, okay?
Okay, I'll see you then.
See you. The Archives today brought to you by Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services. History is made by the hard work that stands the test of time.
Are you sick and tired of that constant pain in your knees or your hips or your back, especially this time of the year? You need to be moving pain-free, right? Hey, it's Henry Royce for the team at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is helping people here every day, giving them lasting pain relief using the latest advances in regenerative medicine. The science is simple. They concentrate your own body's healing agents and apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery. Listen, the old remedies for pain are not the only remedies. You need to learn more about how regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can change your life. Make this the last summer you suffer from chronic pain. They've got clinics here and all over America. This is the exciting new natural way to deal with joint pain with no side effects and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 270-974-4500. That's 270-974-4500. 270-974-4500.
We're getting ready to get into a seasonal change around here, and we want to remind you about the folks that can make a transition very smooth for you. The folks at Eaton Refrigeration out at 3873 Austin Tracy Road. Now, you know, we've talked about Eaton Refrigeration. They handle both residential and commercial heating and cooling. They also handle refrigeration for commercial grade. They also service commercial grills, commercial fryers. So if you're in business or if you've got a home that you want to make sure that everything's working right, it's a pretty good idea to jot down this number right here for Eaton Refrigeration, 646-2434. And one of the neat things I like to bring this up about Eaton is that they offer financing for service and parts with approved credit. Now, here's the deal. They can run the application on location and let you know in just a few short minutes if you are approved for the financing. Think about that. You got the people who will come out there and figure out what's wrong. They'll figure out what it will cost, and a lot of times it's more than you got in your pocket right then, but you can get approved for financing, get it fixed, get back in business, get back to it working, and then take care of it with this financing offer they have with Eaton Refrigeration. Dallas and his staff are certified, ready to take care of you for all of your residential and commercial needs, and you can give Kelly a call today. Get on the books, 270-646-2434. Schedule your seasonal inspection as the seasons change. We're talking about Eaton Refrigeration.
Weather from the WCLU Weather Center. Brought to you by South Central Bank.
When you look around Glasgow and Barron County, you see that South Central Bank's roots run deep, having served generations of families and supported some of the most significant business growth in the region. We are proud to be a part of this community. For 50 years, our customers have received superior service from South Central Bank, and we remain committed to that. We continue to build relationships that are making an impact on the community we call home. South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Well, let's talk about the wording of the forecast for today. First off, we have a 20% chance of a shower this morning, but gradually becoming sunny and a high of 83. A clear night tonight, a low of 65. A sunny day on Friday and 81. Friday night, clear and 57. Saturday, sunny and 81 for the high. I was just looking at the radar screen. Let me get over here and zoom in. If you want rain this morning, you're going to have to drive over to Crab Orchard, which I don't know how to get there. Well, down in between Danville and Campbellsville, there's a little bit of rain shower activity over there south of Danville, northwest of Campbellsville. Nothing really here in south central Kentucky that's causing anybody any trouble. I'm seeing a little light rain just now to begin to form out of Litchfield this morning, just south of Litchfield and running along a little bit of the West Kentucky Parkway. But that's very, very light rain. You know, it's one of those deals where it may or may not be hitting the ground, but there's some moisture that is gathering. Now, yesterday in the Glasgow rain bucket, we got 47/100ths of an inch. But as I've mentioned, western Barron County probably got a lot more because the Smiths Grove rain gauge shows 1 inch and 88/100ths in it this morning. Humidity is at 100%, southwest winds at 2 miles an hour, and 30/10 the barometric pressure. 704 and 72 degrees. Good morning live weather brought to you by South Central Bank.
The Sustainable Glasgow, Kentucky Proud Bounty of the Barrons Farmers Market has begun and is every Saturday from 8 a.m. till noon on the courthouse lawn in downtown Glasgow. Expect to find an array of fresh vegetables, meats, breads, baked goods, plants, and crafts, all from farmers and local producers. So join your friends and neighbors Saturday mornings, and thank you to our community partners South Central Bank, T.J. Simpson Community Hospital, Kentucky Proud and Sustainable Glasgow, local foods, local folks, local music.
Little Caesars presents delicious duos like bacon and eggs, spaghetti and meatballs, and of course peanut butter and jelly. Now, Little Caesars brings you a large, hot and ready slices and sticks. A delicious duo featuring 4 slices of pepperoni pizza, together with 8 tasty slices of Italian cheese sticks, plus crazy sauce for only $6. Little Caesars hot and ready slices and sticks is just $6. Available every day when you walk in between 4 and 8 at Little Caesars.
Pizza. At participating locations plus tax. Prices may vary.
651-9149-800-956-1023. Would you like to win a Little Caesars pizza? Sure you would. Would you also like to demonstrate your smarts? Sure you would like to do that too. So let's put 2 and 2 together. I'll ask the question. Little Caesars has the pizza waiting. It's a fabric question here today. What popular fabric was named after the first city that it was manufactured in Iraq in 1298? Popular fabric named after the first city it was manufactured in Iraq in the year 1298. Sounds funny, doesn't it? All right, who knows their fabric and the history of their fabric? Let me get over here. I got the lines all tied up. Hello, trivia.
Cashmere.
No, it's not right. Good. What's a good thought, though? Trivia.
Denim.
Not denim. Who knows? This is named after a city in Iraq. Trivia.
Muslim.
Say it again.
Muslim.
That's right. Who is this speaking?
Daryl Prophet.
Daryl, what are you doing?
I'm sitting here listening to you on the radio and eating a bite of breakfast.
Well, I'm glad that you got those going today. Daryl, what do you know about fabric, sir?
Not a lot. I had to Google that.
Well, you know, this is interesting. You think about that. That's one of the things that got me thinking about it. Muslin sounds sort of like Muslim, doesn't it?
It sure does.
But it's not named after anything Muslim. It's named after the town, and we have heard this a lot in news coverage of things that have been going on in Iraq. It's the town of Mosul, Daryl.
Yes, sir.
The town of Mosul.
Close to Muslim, too.
Yeah, that's right. The town of Mosul is the town in the year 1298 that this popular fabric was first manufactured. What do you do with muslin? Do you make like shirts out of it or something, or?
Linen, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess. I'm just saying. I don't know. All I know is that what my research tells me what the name from it came from. Popular fabric, muslin, M-U-S-L-I-N. That's the Anglification of the city of Mosul in Iraq. So the next time you put a big muslin shirt on there, Daryl, you'll be wearing something that has a lot of history to it, okay?
For sure.
Have a good day, sir. I'll get your address just in a second, and thank you for winning Pizza today, okay?
Thank you, Henry.
I'll be right there. It's Daryl Prophet. Muslin, M-U-S-L-I-N, that's a fabric. Goes back to Iraq because it was first made in the city of Mosul. That's the rest of the story, y'all. We'll play tomorrow.
Highland Pharmacy on Rogers Road in Glasgow
sir, what's your
has
address?
been a community favorite since 2012, and there's a reason for that. They consistently offer a wide range of customized services, quality care, and a commitment to you. Over-the-counter COVID tests are available and can be billed to most insurance carriers. You can also receive the COVID vaccine at Highland Pharmacy. Register at highland-pharmacy.com. That's highland-pharmacy.com. Highland Pharmacy, a community favorite since 2012.
A message from the South Green Street Church of Christ.
The heart of the righteous studies how to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours forth evil. Proverbs 15:28. We couldn't possibly overemphasize how important it is that we use the proper words. The way we speak reveals what's in our hearts. And even further than this, the way we speak, we'll have to give an account for that. We're going to have to explain to the almighty judge of the universe why we spoke the way we did, why we used the words that we used. Matthew 12:36, I tell you that on the day of judgment, people will give account for every careless word they speak. By your words you'll be justified, by your words you'll be condemned. What type of words are you using? This has been Bart Warren for the South Green Street Church of Christ.
South Green Street Church of Christ, 306 South Green Street in Glasgow.
Good morning from Forever Communications, WCLU Glasgow, W276VO Glasgow, WLLI Muffordville, WLYE Glasgow, W253BN Glasgow. Good morning live.
CBS News Brief. Drivers are making new plans after gas prices dropped below the $4 mark this morning for the first time in 5 months.
When everything kind of starts to go back down, it's usually good to put money back into the economy, so I'll probably start spending again.
AAA puts prices at $3.99 for a gallon of regular. A member of Iran's elite military corps has been charged in an alleged plot to murder former National Security Advisor John Bolton.
It was sufficiently real that ultimately the Secret Service was ordered by the president to extend their protection to me again, so I certainly took it very seriously.
They're trying to get to the bottom of a house explosion in Indiana that killed at least 3 people and damaged dozens of other homes. WEVV-TV's Valerie Lyons is in Evansville.
Now officials are still working to determine the cause of the explosion. Centerpoint Energy was on scene. We're told gas was not detected in the area.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
When we lost Frank, we lost a good friend. Father, husband, colleague, and coach. He meant a lot to all of us.
Today, we had a chance to tell him that. When someone close to you passes on, you want to commemorate their life in a special way. That's why individual requests are such an important part of our funeral services. We strive to meet your specific needs for the most fitting service for your loved ones. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
Nurse practitioners Paula West and Haley Cavanaugh at the TJ Health Cape City Clinic offer experienced health care for all your family's needs, including family medicine care, pediatric care treating children starting at birth, along with cardiology services. The TJ Health Cape City Clinic across from Save-A-Lot is open Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Appointments are recommended. Walk-ins are accepted based on availability. For additional information, visit tjregionalhealth.org/Cape City. TJ Regional Health. Total local care.
Well, good morning. It's Thursday, August 11th, 2022, 7:13 this morning, 72 degrees. Welcome into WCLU Local News. I'm Brennan Crane. It's great to have you with us today. A little bit of a haze out there in the air today, a little bit of mist, however you want to look at it. Temperatures right now about 72 degrees, and it does feel like the first day of school out there. We all remember those foggy mornings, after sleeping in all summer. You get up and you haven't seen this time of day in a few months, but we look like we are going to clear out today. A 30% chance of showers, maybe some thunderstorms, but that's mainly before 7 this morning, so we're getting out of that time frame anyway. Mostly cloudy, gradually becoming clear, a high near 83 today. Tonight, mostly clear, a low around 66, and that starts that streak of really cool temperatures in the evening time. Get this, by Friday evening, we're looking at a low around 57 degrees, and Saturday, we're looking at a high about 82, but sunny skies. It is going to be a really, really nice weekend, so make plans to do something good. Get outdoors. Looks like that humidity might not necessarily be around as bad either after we've had all of this rain. We do have a chance of showers on the front end of next week, but by next week, midweek, looks like mostly sunny skies and highs around 80 degrees for the most part. Well, students in Barron County are going back to school today. That's Barron County schools specifically, and it looks like they are cracking down on a vaping issue at Barron County High School. Barron County Attorney Catherine Thomas issuing a letter to parents and guardians of high school students saying in recent years the use of vapor products has become a significant issue for students. We've seen a substantial increase in incidents of students bringing these items to school, and this year BCHS will be a zero-tolerance campus for such products. Accordingly, and in accordance with KRS 600.02051, if any student is found to be in possession of a vapor product, that's including vape pens and or vape cartridges at a school, a public offense action for the possession of drug paraphernalia will be brought against them. This policy applies to students for all campus activities, so even those happening after school. Now, while they do hope to not have a single incident of this occurrence, the county attorney does want all parents and guardians to be aware of this change in procedure. Now, Kentucky revised statutes, those are the state laws, and specifically KRS 438.350, it prohibits the possession or use of tobacco products, alternative nicotine products, and or vapor products by any person who's under the age of 21. And any student found in possession of these vapor products at a school, including after-school or on-campus activities, they will be referred to the court-designated workers' office and the office of the Barron County Attorney for the public offense, as we just said, of a possession of drug paraphernalia charge, which is a Class A misdemeanor. We understand that that will be confiscated and it will not be returned to that person who is under age 21. So do keep that in mind. This is a grim reminder from the Barron County Attorney, but we understand from recent events and roundtable discussions about drugs in the area and vaping devices, these devices have become really diffuse among students. In fact, much like students previously used to smoke cigarettes, these vaping devices have really replaced those and have become the new thing. The county attorney put at the end of this letter that she does commend all Barron County schools for leading this effort in keeping children safe, and she put a special thanks for several judges, Judge John Alexander, Judge Micah Wood-Pence, Judge Gabe Pendleton, the Office of Barron County Sheriff Kent Keene, and the Barron County Court-Designated Workers Office for their input on and participation in this solution to this problem. So again, you can find that complete letter listed there at Barron County High School's Facebook page. We understand that was also sent to all students and staff as well. One person was arrested Tuesday in Barron County after a vehicle crashed at a Dollar General store just south of Glasgow. Authorities arrived and learned from witnesses at the scene that a man in a truck collided with the rear of another vehicle and drove through a field before he crashed into the store. Police say the metal siding of that store was collapsed and freezers inside were damaged. 32-year-old James D. Storms III was identified as the driver. He apparently looked at an officer blankly when asked about his condition. He did not have any visible injuries, however. Now, Storms reeked of alcohol, had bloodshot eyes, and swayed while police talked to him. He was later determined to have a blood alcohol content level of 0.259. Police say they charged Storms with one count of operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol, failure to produce an insurance card, and failure to maintain required insurance. He's also facing 2 counts of first-degree criminal mischief. A unit from the Glasgow Police Department responded to this initially, along with several others, because we understand from a Glasgow police spokesperson that there were no county units available at the time of this incident. Therefore, the sheriff's office could not respond, though it was in their jurisdiction. The Dollar General store there, it remained closed while damage assessments were completed, but it remains unclear if that store remains closed. Well, some good news for Barron County voters this November. Looks like there is going to be an expansion for places for you to vote this fall. There's no denying that in the past few years, the way Americans cast their votes at the polls has drastically changed. A break from the normal, coupled with ever-changing laws and regulations, well, they've no doubt made the process a learning experience for both voters and those in charge of local elections. In addition to the Barron County High School Gymnasium, we understand from Barron County Clerk Helena Birdwell that the Barron County High School Gymnasium, Cave City Convention Center, Austin Tracy Volunteer Fire Department, and Haywood Volunteer Fire Department, they're going to continue using those places as voting centers, but they will be adding these places: Highsville Volunteer Fire Department, Park City Lions Club, Temple Hill Volunteer Fire Department, and the Beckton Community Center. Now, prior to the pandemic, Barron County was home to 25 precincts across the county, and in 2020, those precincts were replaced by voting centers, which allowed registered voters to cast their ballot at any one of the 3 locations, regardless of where they resided in the county. Now, that's going to be the same way with these voting centers. It does not matter where you live in the county. You'll be able to vote at any of these 8 locations. So if you happen to be making a trip to Cave City on Election Day and want to vote in Cave City, though you live all the way in Austin, you can do so. That's the benefit of these voting centers. Now, if you remember, the Barron Fiscal Court recently allotted some additional money to purchase these additional machines and therefore to get this process underway. Clerk Helena Birdwell says she's really excited to announce this expansion of these locations. She's also suggesting that voters pay close attention to both traditional and social media outlets for information and reminders regarding elections. Voters can begin requesting their absentee ballot on September 24th. Some other important dates to remember: the last day to register to vote or make changes to your current voter registration, that is October 11th. So if you want to vote in the general election on November 8th, you must register to vote by then, or change your voter registration if you want to vote differently for that. Now, again, keep in mind that the general election is the election where you can vote for any party you want to. It does not matter which party you're registered as. You can vote as long as you're registered to do so. The last day for that absentee ballot request, it's October 25th. The no excuse early voting is November 3rd through the 5th. And then finally, Election Day there on Tuesday, November 8th, here in Barron County. No activity on this morning's 911 report. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the newest manager of the Glasgow Water Company, Joe Watson. All of this and more on WCLU Local News.
Healthcare changes all the time, but at Hatchet Home Medical, we're a consistent friend to help you navigate the road to good health. We are your headquarters for all types of equipment and supplies to let you recuperate at home, and we keep up with all the changes. So let us file the paperwork for insurance reimbursement. Hatchet Home Medical's huge showroom and warehouse on Park Avenue in Glasgow lets us stock what you need, and our trained technicians are courteous and helpful when setting up and instructing you or your caretakers. We feature a 24-hour on-call phone number to help in emergencies. And remember, all healthcare professionals, Hatchet's Home Medical has the area's largest selection of nurses' uniforms and supplies, featuring the best of name brands. Whether you need a wheelchair, walker, hospital bed, or other assistive device, the name to remember is Hatchet Home Medical in the Park Avenue Shopping Center in Glasgow. Phone 651-9551.
When you look around Glasgow and Barron County, you see that South Central Bank's roots run deep, having served generations of families and supported some of the most significant business growth in the region. We are proud to be a part of this community. For 50 years, our customers have received superior service from South Central Bank, and we remain committed to that. We continue to build relationships that are making an impact on the community we call home. South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, welcome back into WCLU Local News. 7:23 today, 72 degrees, a little bit steamy out there this morning, a little bit of mist in the air, but looks like we are going to clear out today. Highs today not really going to be all that hot, depending on who you ask, we suppose, but a 30% chance of showers, a high near 83 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear, quite pleasant, a low around 66. And for the rest of the weekend, it looks like the lows are going to be really pleasant, a low around 57 even by Friday evening. It'll be feeling more like fall, maybe give you a little taste of that. Looks like through next week, those lows will remain in the 60s in the evening time. Tuesday, we are looking at a high near 81, so just for some reference, looks like that's where temperatures will hover. They're about the low 80s as we head into next work week. Well, Joe Watson grew up with a firm grasp on hard work as the son of an Adair County plumber, and that same white-knuckling grasp, it provided the foundation for an engineering career and his latest promotion at the Glasgow Water Company. Watson took over leadership at the Glasgow Water Company as the general manager soon after Scott Young, the former manager, announced his intent to leave earlier last year. Young took a job with the Kentucky Rural Water Association, and Watson decided it was time to apply for the manager's position there.
One thing's about working for a utility, you're not doing it, you're not working here for the money, you're working here for like public service, try to do better for the public, because I was on the consulting side, but I realized I'd rather serve the community than I had try to make more money for profits and everything.
After working in Lexington for a brief time following his 2006 graduation from the University of Kentucky, Watson took a job with American Engineers and worked there until 2020. He then transitioned to the Glasgow Water Company and worked as a staff engineer and engineering manager. The son of a plumber, Watson found an interest in water early on, he says. It was through his father's encouragement that he decided to attend college, but engineering, well, it was far from what he originally wanted to do.
Actually, I initially went to school I wanted to be a vet.
Interesting.
And then I changed my major to engineering.
Mathematics seemed to click when biology didn't, after all. Now, as the grandfather of engineering, civil engineers work to lay the foundation for much of society's amenities. Those include bridges, roads, buildings, and water plants, and that's become Watson's specialty. Thanks to modern advancements like computers and calculators, the engineering job has improved in recent years. College was a tough time because the inside look at most of what he does today had to be picked apart and understood from a structural standpoint. Those hours spent studying, calculating solutions to problems, and wondering when the education would ever pay off, well, they've culminated since working in the public sector, according to Watson.
It's tough work going through college and everything, but it's a very rewarding job because it's awesome to be able to go out there and look at stuff that you've designed.
Pushing the keys on a TI-84 calculator and clicking data into a spreadsheet, Watson spends most days preparing for the future of the utility. He says his team's most recent work includes the continuation of a redundant water transmission line construction and a master plan for the utility. Water treated at the Glasgow Water Company's Barron River Lake facility and shuttled to homes in 5 nearby regions is some of the cleanest and cheapest in the state. That's thanks to a team consisting of well-rounded and very educated people, he says.
We've got top-notch individuals, and I'll be honest with you, if we didn't have such a good staff, I probably wouldn't have been interested in taking the job.
Well, tonight is going to be a meeting of the Strategic Planning Committee of the City of Glasgow. That's going to be happening at 5:30 this afternoon, and they're going to be selecting one logo to put forth to the Glasgow City Council, and that will eventually be selected and voted upon at the Glasgow City Council meeting. They'll select that final logo, which was designed by Chandler Thinks, a Franklin, Tennessee-based branding company. Now, if you remember, the Glasgow City Council hired the Kentucky League of Cities in 2019 to complete a strategic plan for the city. Several public meetings were held to gain insight into community concerns and visions, and that plan, it was compiled and later released in September 2020. One of the first steps in KLC's plan recommended a brand for the city of Glasgow's development efforts. The Strategic Planning Committee heard from 6 branding companies in early 2021 before recommending Chandler Thinks, and a numbering system it was devised there at a meeting of that Strategic Planning Committee, and in the end, they eventually voted to hire Chandler Thinks. Now, the company demanded a $29,770 base fee, and $15,000 of that fee, it was covered through privately raised funds from the Glasgow Barron County Community Foundation. Those 3 logo types that were returned to the committee, they'll be looked at tonight, and eventually they'll be voting on those, returning that to the Glasgow City Council, and then we could learn Wit will be the final logo for the city of Glasgow. 728, 72 degrees. Have a great Thursday and a great day back to school for all Barron County students.
Catch Brennan Crane's local news coverage weekdays exclusively on WCLU Radio. Good Morning Live at WCLUradio.com and Facebook.
Picture another world, another dimension, one of space, one of time, one where chicken on made-from-scratch biscuits only costs $1. This place exists, and it's called the Hardee's app. So when you buy one hand-breaded chicken biscuit, you get another for just $1. Cluck bait! It's time to fall for some cluck bait. Bite into the hand-breaded chicken menu only at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Available for limited time during regular breakfast hours at participating restaurants. Exclusively in the Hardee's app or website by registered My Rewards members. Tax not included. See app or website for additional terms and conditions.
Are you sick and tired of that constant pain in your knees or your hips or your back, especially this time of the year? You need to be moving pain-free, right? Hey, it's Henry Royce for the team at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is helping people here every day, giving them lasting pain relief using the latest advances in regenerative medicine. The science is simple. They concentrate your own body's healing agents and apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery. Listen, the old remedies for pain are not the only remedies. You need to learn more about how regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can change your life. Make this the last summer you suffer from chronic pain. They've got clinics here and all over America. This is the exciting new natural way to deal with joint pain with no side effects and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 270-974-4500. That's 270-974-4500. 270-974-4500.
This is the Kentucky News Network. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear continues to push for more federal assistance for Eastern Kentucky, saying FEMA, quote, has to get it right, end quote. President Joe Biden was on the ground in the flooded region earlier this week, saying the country has an obligation to help all its people. Governor Beshear adding the devastation is so extensive, the rebuilding will be a long process. Senator Rand Paul wanting the White House and Governor Andy Beshear to issue waivers to use unspent COVID funding on repairing flood damage. Paul says while talking with victims and volunteers, he is reminded how good Americans and Kentuckians are. A Somerset man is under arrest for allegedly making terroristic threats towards the University of the Cumberlands. The university went into lockdown shortly after a call came into the Williamsburg police at around 5:15 Tuesday afternoon. Extra security was dispatched to the campus, and within about an hour, a suspect was located. Dustin Burchett was identified and tracked down in Somerset and taken into custody by the Kentucky State Police and the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. A murder-suicide is under investigation in Harlan County. The Kentucky State Police say a shooting was reported on Jonathan Drive in Harlan earlier this week. When troopers arrived, they found a man and woman dead at the scene. KSP saying it looks like the female victim, Phoebe Cloud, was shot by her husband Michael, who then turned the gun on himself. The new school year is nearly here, and there are still shortages among staff. The state-mandated position of school resource officer still has vacancies in many districts across the Commonwealth. The armed officer is there to help protect school kids from violence, and the people starting in the role this week have been trained extensively. There are also more new teachers starting this year than ever before. The upturn in new teachers coming after there were alarming vacancy numbers earlier this summer. I'm Rob Carpenter. This is the Kentucky News Network.
Good morning live from WCLU, where we are waking up with a temperature reading of 73 degrees. Coming right ahead, we're going to be moving into our Banking on Business segment. Always something people look forward to each and every day here. And Banking on Business is brought to you by the People's Bank.
This is Terry Burnett with the People's Bank, and welcome to another segment of Banking on Business. This morning we're at Ice House Skill Arcade at 701 East Main Street in Glasgow. Now with Corey Edwards. Corey, welcome to today's program.
Thank you for coming.
Well, it's great to have you on the program. Now we got a new business in town here. You're going to have to tell us about it because you're going to be new, so a lot of people that drive by don't know what's going on here.
It's a skill arcade, so you come in here and you play the games, and there's a lot of skills involved. Right. And the better you get at the skill, of course, the more money you can win. And I mean, you can come out of here pretty lucky.
Okay.
With your pockets pretty full.
With your pockets full, okay. Now, when you talk about that, you've been open for how long now, Corey?
This would be our 5th day open.
5th day, wow,
Yeah.
wow. So you just opened, but you've done renovations to this building.
Yep.
And really just changed it a lot inside here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because when we look around, I mean, there's what, I don't know, 10, 12 games that people can play?
Yeah. Yeah, 13.
13,
but
okay.
I can seat 28.
Okay.
So 28 individual games you can play.
Wow. Now you talk about, I mean, there's skill involved in this. I mean, you got to know a little bit about what you're doing, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, but it's all common sense. So, I mean, anybody can come in here. I mean, if we could let children play it, they would do very well at it.
But they can. You got to be at least 21 to play.
21 to come in. And then, of course, we're about to start serving beer.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Now, is there one game people have been playing over another one that's here, Corey?
Well, they really like the fish games, especially the stand-ups.
Okay. Okay.
They're pretty fun. And then, of course, the verticals here, the big stand-ups here.
Okay.
These are the new ones. The Aurora 5s and the Aurora Lynx.
Okay.
They really like them a lot.
Right. So when you look at the machines, I mean, there's a lot of activity going on here. But people are having a good time playing.
Oh, yes, good time. And, while you're playing, we got free drinks and snacks. So we try to keep everybody comfortable. And we're also going to try to do barbecue every Saturday out here in the parking lot.
Okay. Now you're open Monday through Saturday?
I'm going to, right now, 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
12 to 12.
12 to 12, okay. Okay.
We'll probably, that'll subject to change pretty soon. We're just playing it by ear right now to see how the volume's going to be, and then we'll adjust the hours.
Well, again, congratulations. Appreciate you being in our community.
Thank y'all for coming. I appreciate you guys.
Hey, you're more than welcome, Corey. Been listening and watching this morning at the Ice House Skill Arcade here at 701 East Main Street in Glasgow. Been talking with Corey Edwards. Corey's got a lot of opportunity for people here, a lot of skill, but a lot of fun. Relationship, just being out here with people and enjoying being together and playing some games and just seeing how good you are at the arcades.
Yep.
Again, we appreciate you watching and listening this morning to another segment of Banking on Business.
Location out there too, so come on out and celebrate the Banking on Business, brought to you by the People's Bank.
This is Terry Bunnell, President of the People's Bank. What does community banking mean to you? We believe that people like and appreciate the support and friendliness that a community bank offers. The People's Bank provides one-on-one service, where our goal is to ensure that your banking needs are met. The People's Bank is here for you. Get the banking you deserve today. People's Bank, working for you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We got to get caught up again on birthdays and anniversaries here in WCLU. Let me get the birthday list over here so I can make sure and get everybody's name on here. For example, Lori Ritter. Lori is 57 today. Sheila Atwell has a birthday today. It's Marcia Peden. Maylee Grace Morrison is 12. Amanda Hawkins. Justin Shirley. Justin has a pair of threes on the table. Happy 33rd to Justin Shirley today. Gary DeWeese celebrates. Teresa Sexton with a birthday today. It's the big number 20 wedding anniversary for Steve and Deborah Morrison. Happy anniversary to Steve and Deborah Morrison today. All right, 651-9149, 800-956-1023, and online here from WCLUradio.com. We take the birthdays down. We'll draw for a cake from Dairy Queen a bit later on next hour, and a beautiful rose from Greer's Florist next hour, too. So come on back for that. 7:37, Good Morning Live.
I already had my associate degree, but I always knew that I wanted to earn my bachelor's. Indiana Tech made it possible, even while I was working a full-time job.
Indiana Tech has quality, affordable degree programs to advance your career and the personalized support that helps you succeed. We have in-demand programs in areas like business, healthcare, information technology, cybersecurity, engineering, criminal justice, and many more.
The online classes were great, and the professors were always there to help. and the connections I made along the way still influence and inspire me in my daily work. I'd tell anyone thinking about college to enroll at Indiana Tech today. I'm so glad I made the choice, and I'll be back to earn my master's too.
Take the next step towards your bright future. Learn more today how Indiana Tech helps busy working adults advance their careers at online.indianatech.edu.
Registration for the next class session ends August 19th.
Super easy streaming TV from SCRTC with MyStream TV. Fiber customers can search for SCRTC on a favorite device and download the MyStream TV app. Then call SCRTC to get signed up. Same great live TV service now streaming next to your favorite apps. No more boxes, no more wiring. With MyStream TV, watch up to 3 live streams at once, go back and catch up TV, and restart current TV from the beginning. Even works on your smartphone and tablets. So good news, SCRTC Fiber customers. You can start some super easy streaming TV by calling today.
Are you sick and tired of that constant pain in your knees or hips or back? Especially this time of year, you need to be moving pain-free, right? Hey, it's James Coates for the team at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is helping people here every day, giving them lasting pain relief, using the latest advances in regenerative medicine. The science is simple. They concentrate your own body's healing agents and apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissues, with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery. Listen, the old remedies for pain are not the only remedies. You need to learn more about how regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can change your life. Make this the last summer you'll suffer from chronic pain. They've got clinics here and all over America. This is the exciting, new, natural way to deal with joint pain, with no side effects and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation, 270-974-4500. That's 270-974-4500, 270-974-4500. Weather brought to you by Peggy Tuck Edwards and Private Caregiver Referral Services. When roles reverse in later years, when child becomes caretaker, when the needs of a parent become most important, it's comforting to know there is help along the way. Sometimes our elders just need a little company and companionship, and it's our duty to see that those needs are met, whether at home, assisted living, or a nursing home facility. Peggy and her network of compassionate caregivers are ready to meet you and your loved one's needs. Call 670-7062.
In the WCLU Forecast Center, we started off with a 20% chance of a shower. There's really not much on the radar screen that would indicate that that would be a true statement. Some just to the northwest of Campbellsville this morning, it looks like. But we do have gradually becoming sunny this afternoon and a high of 83. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 65. Sunny on Friday and a high of 81. Friday night, clear and 57. Saturday, sunny and a high of 81 degrees. So we'll see that when that cloud cover thins out a little bit, it'll get a little bit brighter, but that gradual clearing is going to be take a little while for that to kind of kick in. 30-10 is the pressure, 100% humidity. We had 4,700ths of an inch of rain in our big bucket. Some isolated areas like Smiths Grove got an inch and 8,800ths. They win the trophy for the whole state today as far as how much moisture they have. We're at 73. Good morning live weather brought to you by Peggy Tuck Edwards, Private Caregiver Referral Services. Let's see, I had another call. I told you about Lori Ritter turning 57, and I had the nicest call from one of Lori's friends who called up. Says, I want to be sure and get her name on there. She's been my best friend since the first day of school, whenever they started going to school. And she just says she's the best friend that you'd ever want to have, and she wanted to put an extra exclamation point on the fact that Lori Ritter is having a birthday today. We want to be sure and convey that to you as well, that she is obviously has a lot of nice friends out there for sure.
Highland Pharmacy on Rogers Road in Glasgow has been a community favorite since 2012, and there's a reason for that. They consistently offer a wide range of customized services, quality care, and a commitment to you. Over-the-counter COVID tests are available and can be billed to most insurance carriers. You can also receive the COVID vaccine at Highland Pharmacy. Register at highland-pharmacy.com. That's highland-pharmacy.com. Highland Pharmacy, a community favorite since 2012.
Anderson windows and doors with Stormwatch protection are designed to meet building codes for coastal locations from Maine to Miami, Gainesville to Galveston, and they're on guard even when no one is home. Anderson windows and doors with Stormwatch protection. The uglier the weather gets, the more beautiful they become.
See the full line of Anderson windows and doors at Glasgow Building Supply, 31E Bypass in Glasgow. Anderson Windows. Come home to Anderson.
The outdoors, you love it. On the road, the trail, in the water, or in your own backyard. You want the best of everything to help you get the job done better and faster. And out the door, off to your next adventure. Make it happen at the new locally owned KY Power Sports Outdoor and Marine of Glasgow. See John Dial to get your surroundings spectacular with power equipment from Skag, Gravely, Echo, Cub Cadet, Wright, and more. Mowers, weed eaters, and chainsaws. Even pressure washers from Vortex. Plus engine repair if you need it. And rock and mulch when you're ready to liven up your landscaping. To put your go into gear, get your own ATV or side-by-side UTV from KY Power Sports. And for those who know life is best enjoyed on the water, KY Power Sports Outdoor and Marine in Glasgow carries personal watercraft and power boats. When it comes to everything outdoors, see new owner John Dial and make it happen at the new locally owned KY Power Sports Outdoor and Marine, 402 South L. Rogers Wells Boulevard in Glasgow.
744, Bobby Lee Hurt is up and running this morning. And when Bobby's up and running, then everybody should be running, because Bobby is a guy that does a mighty fine job of keeping the vehicles that you're looking for on the lot at Hurt Auto Sales. The location is 621 West Main Street in Glasgow. Bobby, I was watching a national news report about how the inflation figures came out, and inflation is down a little bit, and the economy is settling down a little bit. One of the indications they had, Bobby, was that the cost of pre-owned vehicles had gone down. And I'm thinking, well, they never went up at Hurt Auto Sales. You just kept them low because you know this is the time that people need a little extra help. So congratulations for helping with inflation, Bobby Lee.
I did my best, Henry. Hey, we always have good prices here at Hurt Auto Sales.
That's right. That's right. I know you did your best. You get up every day and do your best. So I'm anxious to hear what those great finds are that you have put on the lot that you know people are going to want to come up there and lap up.
Henry, we have a sharp 2016 Buick Encore. Gets great gas mileage, a sharp-looking ride, red in color with tan interior, price for just $16,900.
Man, that is a great price.
It is a great price. And like I say, it's a really nice ride, a small SUV, makes somebody a fine automobile.
Somebody should test drive that this morning.
That's right. And speaking of fine automobiles, we got a 2010 Mercedes GLK 350. That's another small SUV.
Is that the one that's black on black?
No, I sold that one.
Okay.
Maroon with black leather interior with a sunroof.
That black on black, I didn't think it would last long, but I thought we got to talk about it more than once.
That's right. We did get to talk about it. Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, but this one is the same thing, price for $14,900.
Great price, yeah.
Most certainly. And if you don't want to spend a lot of money and just need a good transportation back and forth to wherever you might want to wander off to, we have a 2005 Acura Mdx, another SUV, just for $3,900, Henry.
Boy, you're not going to put a lot of money in there, but it's back to school time. We got some new young drivers driving to school for the first time here. Barron County School started today. Do you have any grandsons that drive yet?
I do. I have one.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, I'm sure you outfitted him in something nice from Hurt Auto Sales. But kids like to have a nice car when they go to school, and Bobby Lee's got a lot of choices up there for sure.
We most certainly do. Come on by. We've got lots more to look at, and we'll send you home with that brand new used vehicle today.
Bobby's always going to be, he's on the prowl to make sure he can find something that you'd be interested in calling your own, and he likes to make that really, really easy. So if you're out on I-65 listening to us, type in Hurt Auto Sales or type in 621 West Main Street 42141, and it'll automatically pull you in to a beautiful place to buy a vehicle. And remember, the motto will be in effect regardless of the weather today, Bobby Lee, and that is
no pain when you trade with Hurt.
Have a good day, sir.
You also, Henry. Thank you.
Good morning, friends. Once there was a traveler who had driven his car into a ditch in a remote area of the countryside. After trying unsuccessfully to get his car out, he was really glad to see a local farmer come along with a big workhorse named Buddy. After hitching Buddy up to the car, he yelled, "Pull, Nellie, pull." Buddy stood still. He said, "Pull, Jake, pull." Still nothing happened. The farmer then said, "Pull, Buddy, pull." At that, Buddy easily pulled the car out of the ditch. The traveler was thankful but very curious. He asked the farmer why he called his horse by the wrong name a couple of times, and the farmer said, "Buddy's blind, and if he thought he was the only one pulling, he wouldn't even try." Friends, there are a lot of people in this life who are like that, easily discouraged and fearful. That's why it's so important for us to pull together, to obey God, and to bear one another's burdens, so that we get to heaven and perhaps help someone else along the way. We all need help. We're all like the blind horse who needs encouragement from time to time. Who are you encouraging today? This is Danny White for the Refuge Church of Christ.
Are you sick and tired of that constant pain in your knees or your hips or your back, especially this time of the year? You need to be moving pain-free, right? Hey, it's Henry Royce for the team at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is helping people here every day, giving them lasting pain relief using the latest advances in regenerative medicine. The science is simple. They concentrate your own body's healing agents and apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery. Listen, the old remedies for pain are not the only remedies. You need to learn more about how regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can change your life. Make this the last summer you suffer from chronic pain. They've got clinics here and all over America. This is the exciting new natural way to deal with joint pain with no side effects and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 270-974-4500. That's 270-974-4500. 270-974-4500.
From the north, south, east, west, NEWS, here's the latest news.
Spinning the globe, round and round she goes.
We were trying to remember what you say on Tidbit News yesterday.
You were?
We were trying to remember that.
Around the world and up your street.
Is that what? Okay.
That's right.
You got that, Brennan? I guess not.
I don't know.
No, that's not what we were trying to remember.
Okay.
We were trying to remember your spinning the globe adage.
Okay. Spinning the globe. Like Vanna White?
Is that all you say?
I don't know.
Well, see, you hear something too much and you just forget it.
That's true.
This show is not scripted.
That's for sure.
That's right. But
I do think it is, we'd be terrible.
Did you hear Danny White, another inspiring that, pull, buddy, pull?
Yeah, that's good.
Pull, Nellie, pull.
Yeah. Pull, Brennan, pull.
Pull, Brennan, pull. That's right. If you thought you was the only one pulling, you wouldn't try.
That's right.
A lot of wisdom there for sure, as Danny is famous for.
What's up with you, Henry?
Well, let's see. This story, I don't care about the meat of the story. I use it because of the headline.
Okay.
Here's the headline. See if you wouldn't read this story. The headline reads, "Man who performed illegal autopsies can't work in Kansas."
We've seen a lot of funeral business being cracked down on last few months.
That's an attention getter.
A Kansas man convicted of performing illegal autopsies has been permanently banned from doing business in the state in order to pay more than $700,000 in restitution and fines. His name is Sean Parcells. He's 42. He lives in Leawood and Topeka. He was convicted in November of 3 felonies and 3 misdemeanors related to providing illegal autopsies in Wabasha County. He also pleaded guilty and made a federal wire fraud charge relating to autopsies. Now, the Attorney General filed a lawsuit accusing Mr. Parcells, a self-taught pathologist. Now, that's not one of the terms you hear about much in this world. He's one of those self-taught pathologists.
Yeah.
He has no formal education. And he's been accused of contracting with the I'm thinking about Japanese food, a Wabasha County to conduct autopsies and then not completing them according to the state law, including not having a licensed pathologist present. So the judge has banned Parcells and his companies from doing any business in Kansas related to the human body or performing any services regulated as a healing art, including any COVID-related services. But anyway, he's 10 counts of wire fraud. His sentencing is going to be on September the 15th. So I don't feel sorry after I read the headlines that this man who performed illegal autopsies can't work in Kansas anymore.
I'm with you.
Sounds like a quack.
That's right, but watch out. Watch out in Oklahoma. He might be over there trying to set up shop.
Might have him a little secret room somewhere, still doing it.
I saw this story. There's a video to this story, but I didn't download it. But this is out of Pittsburgh. This is the story of, and it's a cool thing to watch. The Pittsburgh Pirates infielder Rodolfo Castro's phone flew out of his pants pocket when he slid into third base during a game against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
He had his phone on him?
That's right, creating a rare sequence and leading to a talk with his manager. The odd play occurred at the top of the fourth inning in the 6-4 loss Tuesday at Chase Field in Phoenix. The Pirates trailed 2-0 when Castro took a walk in the third at bat. And the Pirates' designated hitter, O'Neill Cruz, hit a slider for a line drive, single to center field. Castro flew around second base, left his feet for a dive into third. His phone then shot out of his left pocket and hovered above the ground.
And he took a selfie.
The phone then bounced through the infield dirt and hit the base. Third base umpire Adam Hamari pointed to the phone on the ground to alert Castro. The Pirates infielder picked up the device and handed it to the third base coach Mike Ribilo, who had a surprised look on his face.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Buddy boy, we got to have a talk. You can't be checking your texts when you're supposed to be on second base, seeing whether I'm telling you to run or not.
Maybe he's trying to do a Facebook Live.
I don't know, but anyway, it apparently went flying through the air.
Keep the phone in the dugout or in the locker room.
You won't be on base that long. Hit it out of the park, you won't be gone hardly at all.
That's right.
And finally, this one I thought I'd throw in here. There's a Michigan city that violated the U.S. Constitution.
All right.
By chalking tires to enforce parking limits. Did you know that was a violation of the Constitution?
Yeah, because Shelley stopped doing it out front of the radio station.
I know she did, and I don't. It might be for the same reason, but it won't be forced to. They won't have to give back the money. Saginaw must only pay vehicle owners nominal damages of $1 each for marking the tires. The basic problem is that chalking tires. I'm sorry. Where reading English is relatively harmless. He said, noting there is no damage to the cars. But after 5 years of litigation and 2 appeals to the higher court, the ruling is that Miss Allison Taylor, who got 14 parking tickets, the judge said marking tires, 14 tickets, marking tires without a warrant violates a constitutional protection against unreasonable searches. Quote, no reasonable person would argue that something as trivial and transitory as chalk on a tire offends a reasonable expectation of privacy, but the Fourth Amendment protects more than those expectations that society deems reasonable. So anyway, they stopped chalking the tires in 2019. She appealed, and 2 years later she's going to get apparently $1 for each of those 14 tickets.
Well, we had heard about that around here because, us, we would, this is absolutely terrible, but, it's like, well, I need to go move my car up so I can reset my time. It's like, well, that's not the idea here. But anyway, so we got rid of that.
Yeah.
And I actually talked to the police department about that, and they said, we've been told that that's apparently not legal to do anymore. So
they quit it.
That's right.
So now you know why they don't chalk tires. It's constitutionally prohibited.
That's right. But that doesn't mean you can go parking in whatever spot you want.
That's right. Don't just go down here and say, hey, they're not going to see how long you were in that handicap space at all. One and done.
Or a fire zone.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Exactly. You shouldn't park in theirs anyway.
That's right. Well, anyway, I thought I'd throw that in, y'all. That's all
cool.
I have. Anybody else got anything?
I don't think so.
All right.
I was telling James it's the first day of school, and it just when I walked outside this morning, it really, I sort of was reminiscing because I felt like it was the first day of school. I just remember,
What, 3 years ago?
Well, yeah, but my point is, like, the feeling of, like, I've been doing this job now where I'm up at that time of day habitually, whereas when I was in school, I wasn't.
You didn't wake up till third period, did you?
I don't remember what time I actually woke up.
Well, the Pop-Tart in hand.
That's right. Yeah, school is it's fun, and I have lots of memories like that too. Mine was this. There's a sawmill that I never got up in time to hear until it was time to go to school, and some sawmill close to where I grew up. You know, walk out at 7:20.
Oh yeah,
dang sawmill! I don't remember. I never did know where.
What's
really
wrong
was.
with that sawmill?
I don't know what they were sawing.
Sounded funny.
Sawing logs, I guess. All right. That's what we have in the way of tidbit news today, y'all.
The just because deal.
Hey, what's this?
Breakfast from Mickey D's.
From me?
Yep.
Why?
'Cause it's morning and you like McDonald's. Let's eat while it's hot.
There's a deal for every act of kindness at McDonald's.
Right now, get a sausage biscuit and hash browns pairing for just $2.50. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Looking for a great job working with friendly folks, competitive pay, and no weekends? Well, Key 1 Hour Cleaners in Glasgow is in need of a presser and a shirt presser. Apply in person at Key Cleaners location on Happy Valley Road in Glasgow. Key Cleaners is a family-owned business that's been successful over the past 35 years, providing great service and having the best employees. You should consider joining that group. Looking for a presser and a shirt presser? Apply at Key Cleaners, 401 Happy Valley Road in Glasgow. We need you. Well, coming up, James Coates has The Trader in the 8 o'clock hour on Willie 94.1, and it's the live and local 8 o'clock morning edition with